On, guys? I'm back at you again, and we're gonna go through the top plays of the wildcard weekend. And for the most part, it went the way I thought. I was wrong about obviously the Tampa Bay game. I thought Tampa Bay should have won that game, but I guess the rookie is more marketable. I knew that though, but I just didn't think his team was ready. It was a miracle they made it this far. There's no way that they win the next game. Like, I just don't see that. And as far as Minnesota taking a dive, that was obviously the biggest upset of the week. And I said before this game, guys, I don't trust Sam Darnold. Like I told you guys, don't be surprised if the Rams win this game, because Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford alone, just those two by themselves, should be enough to beat this Minnesota team. Because the regular season and the playoffs, like the way these teams coach, the way the rig goes, just everything is different about the playoffs, guys. It's not the same as the regular season. It's very strategic in the way they want to make their money and what teams they want playing each other. So a lot of your strategic ways of picking goes out the window. You really have to be in the minds of Vegas and what they're trying to portray. So the Rams, you got to remember, it's probably a better matchup, Rams versus Lions, and you also got to think they want the Chiefs to three-peat, so they're not going to want them to have a very hard opponent, you know what I mean? So don't be surprised if you see the Chiefs versus the Rams, or the Chiefs versus the Lions, and they don't have Aiden Hutchinson, so that's why the Chiefs probably win that game. Or Chiefs versus, I don't think they'll do Chiefs-Eagles again, but I got to check the seedings. I don't know who plays who. We'll check that now while I'm talking. Because if the Eagles play Washington, NFL bracket, we'll put. Because if the Eagles play Washington, that's a divisional game. They're very familiar. It can go either way. But the point I'm trying to make is Washington isn't good enough to win the Super Bowl this year. They could be a scapegoat team and lose to Patrick Mahomes. Basically, what I'm trying to figure out is who's going to be the scapegoat team to lose to Mahomes, because that's what it's going to be. So Lions, Commanders. Commanders, I don't think they can beat the Lions. I just don't think they have enough. Jaden can make it exciting in the beginning, keep it close with his legs, excitement. But at the end of the day, the Lions have a lot of players. You're playing against a stacked roster, And then the Eagles, Rams, this is going to be a very stacked roster versus a very great coach. Like, if Sean McVay beats this team, which he can, they just have to come out with the right scheme, limit turnovers, clean game from Stafford, run the ball when you need to, play defense like you did against Minnesota. If you play like you did against Minnesota, you can beat the Eagles, guys. I don't know. Sean McVay got these guys flying around. They're all young guys, so they don't know what they don't know. You got your D tackles playing like they're the second coming of Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald might come out of retirement just to join the fun. It's just a lot going here. And I said before this game against the Vikings, I don't like the Vikings here. I don't feel good picking this game. There's a reason for it, man. Because the Rams, like I said at the beginning of the year, the Rams are a scary team. I know they had their ups and downs, but I said it from the beginning that this team is going to be scary come playoff time. I'm not going to pick games today, but it's definitely going to keep me up thinking who's going to win this game. And then you got the Bills-Ravens. This is probably going to be the best game of the weekend. Bills-Ravens. I don't know who wins that game. I don't want to think about that stuff. I had a long day today. We'll be picking those games on Thursday or Friday. But, yeah, this game, I hate watching rigged and scripted football, but I probably will be watching this game. January 19th, that's on Sunday. I'm just making sure there's no 1 o'clock games. All right, good. So we got 3 o'clock and later, so that's good. 18th, Saturday. So Saturday we got 2 games. We got the Chiefs. The Chiefs should be able to handle Houston. I don't think Houston has enough. It might be a good game, but yeah, I think the Chiefs, the way they play in the playoffs and regular season is way different. They shorten the game. They run the ball more in the playoffs, so the game is shorter. They keep your offense off and keep their defense off the field and try to shorten the game, shrink it down. And then they blitz you a lot on defense. They make you have to get rid of the ball quickly, you know. You can't really do the play actions. It's got to be decisive football against the Chiefs. They make you have to get rid of the ball and run the ball in tight spaces. That's what makes them so hard to beat what makes them so hard to beat in the playoffs, because you get them playing one way in the regular season, the Chiefs, and then in the playoffs they switch up completely. So basically, they show you some BS during the regular season, and in the playoffs, they switch up how they do things ever so slightly, but effectively. All right, let's start breaking down the film. I just wanted to see brackets. I can literally talk football all day. If you guys want me to just do a podcast where we just talk football and just shoot the shit, just let me know in the comments, because we could do that easily. We could literally have a podcast of just talking football, rosters, coaches, you know, plans, all that stuff, draft ideas, all that stuff. If you guys are interested in stuff like that, let me know. But let's start breaking this down. First clip we have, Chargers. Let's talk about this game. Anyone that picked the Chargers, you're picking with your heart here, because the Chargers, yes, I love Jim Harbaugh. Yes, they're a great story, but they're not a great team, guys. Like this team, just like the Chargers, right? Not the Chargers. I'm speaking of the Chargers. Just like the Commanders, they're just a year ahead of schedule. You know, they had a great bunch of coaches and group of guys together, and they made a great story. But they're not a great team. Neither one of those teams are good enough to win the Super Bowl. Like, we know that. We can just tell. Houston doesn't even have a chance, and they're better. You know, but if you bet on the Chargers to win this game, you weren't really thinking, you know what I mean? You just really weren't. It's not really a team you can market. The only thing you can market on that team is Harbaugh, and I guess the quarterback, who I don't think is a big game quarterback. I think he's a regular season guy. He'll give you nice numbers, look pretty in the pocket, but he's not Tom Brady. He's not gonna grind it out and carry the team on his back. Everything has to be nice for him. And they just isn't right now, and that's why they lost. You need more receivers. If they really worked on their core this year, next year they got to work on skill guys. They need more juice. Same thing with New England. I could talk all day on New England. They hired Vrabel, McDaniels back at OC. They're going to turn it around next year. Like I say, there's always 4 to 6 new playoff teams. New England is going to be one of those teams. And you all laughed at me last year when I said that the Commanders would be in the playoffs this year, and the Rams. I was getting laughed at. Yeah, and now look at those two teams now. They're both advancing, even though I didn't pick them to advance. I picked them to make the playoffs, though. But the point is, it's every year, guys. It's 4 to 6 new teams, so you better not be thinking it's going to be the same teams again. It's not. The 49ers will make a new turnaround, you know what I mean? The Giants might turn it around. Who knows? But you can't keep thinking it's going to be the same thing over and over, because it's not. All right, let's start talking football. So right out of the gate, they do a bad snap. CJ, I don't know what he was looking at. He literally stood there, and the ball just went right by his face. And then they still can't get him. I used to do this in high school. So they got CJ looking like it's a high school player against a bunch of JV players. And then they showed this on the replay. This guy and this guy started running up to the line of scrimmage instead of sinking back looking for a receiver to guard, and that's what happens. And then this guy, I don't know what he was doing. He's just on the sideline. Like, what was that? Why is this guy... Look at this, guys. You have a guy here, and then you have a guy here, and it's like they're all avoiding the guy that's in the middle of them. They're playing like a box coverage and leaving the guy in the middle wide open. That's NFL defense. They literally move out of areas to vacate areas for other guys to get open. That's what they do. It's what they do, guys. I've been showing it to you now for years. It's been years now I've been showing you guys this. No joke. So, shouldn't be anything new. Alright. Now, wide receivers leaking wide open. Look at this. You got two guys wide open, and they still can't get to the pass rush. And then look at the bad angle, and he gives up. It just feels like the Chargers are just not really playing. And I made a video about this. The Chargers, they were up 6-0, right? And then all of a sudden, with 2 minutes left in the half, the Chargers forgot how to play football, and they couldn't stop the Texans. That's what happened. That's what happened. So basically, they gave the Chargers the 6-point lead because all the bettors were on the Chargers just to make them feel good about it. You know, start banging on the live bets, and then before you know it, they pull that e-brake. Now the rage begins because the Houston Texans will take control. That looked close to a false start. Good block by the running back. The rusher kind of pulled up a little bit. This guy pulled up almost like he didn't really want to hit him. And Nico Collins. This looks like this guy's close to him, but this guy behind him is nowhere near him. He's at least 3 yards behind him. And in the NFL, 3 yards is a lot of space, guys. And then what type of a tackle attempt was that? Look at this. You mean to tell me you couldn't just hold on for dear life? You just say, hey, buddy, nice job. Tap him on the back. See you later. And then you don't even grab at him again. And then this guy slaps at the ball. Ay, guys. Tough to watch. I know Jimmy don't like seeing that. False start. They're not going to call it, though, so this could be bad. Oh, wow. Yeah, Justin Herbert, he just threw this one right to the other team. Why are you throwing it so high? Isn't that like Lad McConkey? Isn't he like 6 foot tall or something? Not a very tall guy. You know, taller than an average human being. But still, you're throwing that over him like he's 6'5". And I'm going to question even a 6'5" guy would struggle to catch that. Throws it right to the defensive back who just so happens to be waiting behind him in the perfect spot to catch the ball. But you guys think that these interceptions aren't real. Or are real, I should say. Because I know they aren't real. And now dude just jogs in. No one else on an angle to get him. Not even Justin Herbert's in the picture. Because he knew he was going to be a pick six. He was told to do so. Now more bad Herbert. This one, you could say that it's not his fault, guys, but look at this. He puts no touch on the ball, sidearms it. You're throwing it to a guy that's not really comfortable catching it, right? And then he volleyballs it right to the other team. So they both are idiots on this. Herbert is an idiot and the receiver is an idiot. Now Herbert wants to join the picture and just falls down on his face. Oh, how about them apples? Oh, no, how about this? Is this guy going to catch him? Oh, okay, now he wants to make the tackle. Dude should have pitched it back. But he wanted all the credit. False start again, right tackle. And Herbert, with no pressure, finally throws it to a receiver. I don't know what this was. 27 flailed, and then the safety behind him runs by the play. Number 21. I don't know what 21 did on that. So is this a touchdown? Or is he going to get caught? I guess that's a touchdown. Because 21 and the other guy are idiots. But that's what it is, the NFL. Touchdowns in the NFL are already predetermined. They truly, truly are. I guess they're only showing the Houston game? No, they're not. They're switching over. So, actually, let's see how this happened here. So, this is what, a field goal? The kicker, yeah, it's the low trajectory, guys. The kicker just kicks it ultra low. It's not even a deep kick. And they just let the guy block it. That's all it was, man. We're not going to go through this all. It's the same nonsense. All right, let's check some of this game out now. Ravens, they completely controlled this team. If you picked the Steelers, you were not thinking with your brain. You were thinking with your heart. And this is the defensive end. Never fights off. And that's Highsmith. Highsmith doesn't spin move. See, he's not fighting. He doesn't spin into the play. He reaches in and slaps. But it is Derrick Henry, though, so never mind. I thought that was Lamar. You're not going to bring Derrick Henry down with one arm. But you know what, though? What are these guys doing? Where's this D tackle doing? Why is he allowing this guy to reach block him? And that's what happens when your defensive tackle just sits there and doesn't fight off. And then you get stiff-armed in the mouth. Yeah, it's going to be kind of weird if the Ravens don't win the Super Bowl with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson next to each other. I mean, I would like them to have one star receiver over there, like another guy, but with this team, like, it feels like they have enough. Like, I feel like if they had Derrick Henry last year, they could have easily beat the Chiefs. It's almost like Derrick Henry was their missing piece last year. We're going to have to see if he's that guy this year. And it almost feels like the Ravens are far superior from the Bills this year, too, just with what they have around them. But who knows, though? They could just flip the script and make the Bills look better than the Ravens. So now they blitz Russell. Not really, though. It's a terrible, haphazard blitz. And then they let Russell throw it over the top. This was just a gimme touchdown. Look at this. They're off by 8 yards in coverage, and they still get beat deep. And don't tell me, oh, it was a double move. There's 2 defenders there. So that means they both just let him run behind? Like, okay, like, and I'm supposed to just sit there and believe that? Okay. No, that was just Vegas saying, let Pittsburgh score. We need them to get points on the board. That's all that was. What's going on in the middle of the field, guys? Look at this. Look at this guy getting his ass kicked. When you get double teamed, you fall down and make a pile. You don't allow them to push you back. And if that's Cameron Hayward, he knows better than that, guys. That is Cameron Hayward. So Cam Hayward doesn't know that he needs to make a pile when he's getting double teamed. And then look at TJ Ward. Just look at TJ. He gets off the block and then he just chills. No effort. And look at all these guys. Look at all these guys. No one makes a tackle attempt. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. They all can emerge and hold on for dear life and bring him down. 5 guys can bring 1 guy down. Okay? And instead, look at this. What was that? What kind of an effort was that? There was no effort. They just let him go. They didn't even give a care in the world. They didn't even try to tackle him. They just let him go. I don't even want to show that again. That's how embarrassing that is. And that's the playoffs, guys. That's playoff football. So that just shows you how bad it can be in the regular season. If they're not showing any effort in the playoffs, sheesh. Oh, yeah, this was the first touchdown with Bo Nix. Look at this. 10 yards off the ball, and they still get beat. No play action either, guys. They just get beat on a non-play action play. Both guys get beat. I'm not buying that. They just let him do that. They just let him get behind, guys. It's one of those gimme touchdowns. We're going to see those a lot. Uh-oh, this is going to be a punt return, isn't it? Oh, it's a fake. They faked it. And dude's wide open. Ball takes forever to get there. Jesus Christmas. That ball took an entire Harry Potter book reading to get there. Dude's wide open right here. But he goes the opposite way. No rush at all. Look at all the guys standing around not rushing. Now 92's like, oh, I'm going to go pretend to rush. But they wait. Well, I should say Josh waits to the last minute to throw it so he can look so amazing. Oh, he waited till the last minute. Oh, the pressure's in his face. Oh, he throws the ball. The receiver makes the... Like, come on, guys. That was another one of those fake plays to make Josh Allen look like he's so much greater than he really is. Like, if there was actually a real pressure on him, he wouldn't have been able to do any of that. It's embarrassing. All right, let's see the next fake play we get. Looked like false start there. No rush to speak of at all. They're just letting Josh Allen sit back there and then wide open. No one near him. Number 2, I want you guys to keep in mind, number 2, Surtain is revered as the best corner in the NFL, guys. This guy right here, the guy that's getting beat by 5 yards or more, is supposedly the best the NFL has to have or has to offer at cornerback. The best the NFL has to offer at cornerback is jogging and getting beat by, I think that's a rookie. Look at this. Number 2, guys. He's supposedly the best corner in the NFL. The best they have to offer is number 2, and that's the effort that he shows. He's a $100 million man. Doesn't show any effort. I'll even say it didn't even show like he had any skills. And just gives it up. Gives it up. Now they send the blitz. It comes in very late. Terrible blitz. All the time in the world. Receiver has steps on him. And a cushion again. It's always on a cushion. It does an out and up on him. So he goes out and up. The corner gets killed, demolished by like 3 steps. Alright, now let's check some of this. So this guy goes way too far upfield and still doesn't get the play. And then the defensive end, Nolan Smith, I don't know why he can't make this tackle. And where is everyone else? Getting behind blocks and getting demolished. Slapping at balls. And not really wrapping up. Grabbing jerseys, but not human beings. And just going for a ride. That's all that is. They just went for a ride. Now let's see some of this. Not much action in this game. Not. This is Terry McLaurin, right? One of the Terry McLaurin specials. He's really good at catching the balls over his head. That sounded kind of weird, but footballs we're talking. So no weirdness. But here's Terry, bump and press. He lets him get the inside release. That's terrible. Inside release, throw it right over his head, and he'll catch it every time. On Jamel Dean giving up the inside release when the sideline is your friend. That's embarrassing. And this is for the game, right? Obviously, it goes in. We don't got to watch it. Oh, he missed it. Or did it go in? Off the post and in. So, wow. That's just the NFL controlling the footballs. They wanted to make it as dramatic as possible. Oh, let's hit the post and let it go in. Like, Baker is not even, like, mad. Because he knows the NFL did that too. He's more pissed that Vegas did it like that, I think. Making him think that he had a chance to go overtime. But no, really, they controlled it. They hit it off the post and controlled it right in. That's the way the cookie crumbles, Baker. It's the league you decided to join. It's the fraternity you wanted to be a part of. All right, let's see a little bit of this, and then we'll get up out of here, guys. And this is what Los Angeles did all day. They just sent pressure, and Sam just kept dropping the ball on the ground. You send pressure at Sam, he holds the ball. He never gets rid of the ball whenever pressure comes. But the problem is, you got a guy wide open right here. Sam doesn't see it. You have to know right off the break they're blitzing me. I got to throw it before they turn their heads. So when they turn their heads, the ball's already arriving. He wasn't doing that. He wanted to hold the ball. Meanwhile, guys open there, and there's a guy open right here, too. You can see him if you really look. Instead, Sam is pump faking and not releasing. See how he's in a throwing motion here, but it's a pump fake? The ball should have already been out. And he even has this guy open off his break once he turns back inside. So he has 3 guys open. Instead, he holds the ball, and drops it. How about that? Right for the Rams to get. And clearly he's going to get in the end zone. These fat boy linemen are not going to get him. Looks like that guy right here, looks like he's running hard, but he's just pumping his arms really hard. That's all he's doing. It's a trick they teach these guys to make it seem like they're running, but they really don't run that hard. Especially when they know it's supposed to be a touchdown. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to join me on Thursday or Friday for my picks and to break down the debacle for the next round. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.